it's Melinda here, and I just wanted to pop in here and spend some time with you all to really dive into how to pivot your business during these times that we're facing. Like, I heard this quote, I've said it before. Um, there are, how does it go? There's decades when nothing happens, and then weeks when decades happens. And like the last 7 days have been that kind of week, right? So I wanted to come in here because of how fast things are changing and our lives are turning upside down. And what we did yesterday is not what we're doing today, and it probably won't be what we do tomorrow. But I wanted to come in here, and there's Sveta. Hey, Sveta. And just answer your questions. Talk about some of the fears. Some of you all posted what are your challenges, what are your concerns, and I want to go through some of those. And I want to share what I've been having nonstop conversations with people in a mastermind that I'm a part of, and how can we serve those that we serve during these times, and what does that look like, and what's working for others, and what can work for you. And I just want to bring you that information. But the first thing that I want to share is I've been working on a document, and I hope to get it out to you by the end of the business day today. That's my intent. I'm working diligently on that. It's going to be down and dirty. It's not going to be pretty and formatted, but it's going to be the information you need to know and how to pivot your business. And then I've got about 2.5 pages worth of content, copy, that you can use to help pivot your message. Because that is one of the biggest things that's needed right now is we have to pivot our message. And that's what I want to start with. And then I know, Sveta, you posted some of your concerns. Denise, hey there, hey Denise, hey there. Denise, you also posted some of yours, I think it was. And Cheryl shared her concern, and I want to address those here on this call. But the first thing that I want you to know is that in these times, whether you're having fears and doubts about how do I keep my business going when my kids are now at home, and now I've got a spouse at home working too, and I don't really have time, and now I have to be business owner, chef and cook, housekeeper, teacher. Like, I've got to be all things to all people, right? So whatever your world is, how do you still keep taking care of your business? And there's a story that I want to share with you, and then there's 2 questions that I have for you. And some of you have heard me share this already, but I cannot share it enough because I truly believe it. So there's these 2 salesmen who sell shoes. And if you've heard this, just listen again. It's probably worth it because perspective is everything right now. But there's these 2 salesmen that sell shoes. And they're going into third world countries. They each work for a different company. And the first salesman gets to the country and notices, oh my gosh, they don't wear shoes here. Calls back to the home office and says, oh, we picked the wrong market. I'm pulling out. I'm coming back. We need to rethink our strategy here. The second salesperson heads to a third world market and realizes, wow, nobody's wearing shoes. Oh my gosh, nobody's wearing shoes. Calls the home office and is so excited because they've hit the jackpot. Nobody's wearing shoes. And it's all perspective. How do you choose to look at the situation in front of you? Now, I will say it again and again. Hey, Holly, there's Holly. What I'm about to share with you is to help strengthen your business so that you can leverage the skill sets that you have to serve those people around you. Your skills, your services, your offerings, what you know, your experience and where it's gotten you is what people need right now. In times of upheaval, in times of uncertainty, in times of rapid change, and in times when emotions are high and people can't make decisions, they're turning to people that can support them and help them figure out how the heck do they navigate through this. The world is missing leaders right now, and you are those leaders. So we got to make sure that your business is strong, that you're confident in your messaging or clear in your messaging. May not be confident because that's kind of hard right now, so that you can get out there and serve your people. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to share these 2 questions with you, and I'll be sending all this to you in an email as well later on. But the first question is you have to revisit. It's not really a question, it's an exercise. It's a couple of questions in this exercise. Because with any marketing at any time, whether we're in times like this or whether we're in the heyday like we were a few months ago, you always have to meet your clients where they are. Hey, Taryn. And so it's so important to remember that. I have to meet my clients where they are. Well, right now, your clients are in a very different place than they were several weeks ago, even just a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And so you have to ask yourself, what are the challenges of my clients right now? What are the challenges of the people in my niche? What are the new challenges considering this COVID situation, the coronavirus that's going on, and the economic situation, and everything that's happening right now? What are the new challenges of my client? A lot of you in boot camp and accelerator and the mastermind, you have heard me talk about Pain Island and Pleasure Island. What keeps your clients up at night? You have to know this because it's not going to be the same that it was a few months ago. Like for us here with Coaches Console and Boot Camp, the challenges that used to keep you up at night are things like, I want to make an impact. I want to make consistent income. I want to make a difference doing the work I'm doing. I want to have an amazing lifestyle. Well, I also have a business doing work that I love to do. Like those are the things that we used to hear from people. Now it's like, will people still buy my coaching? How can I navigate this? I've got a lot of anxiety trying to move my business when people are not doing much right now, or how can I expect others to pay for my services when there's a money crunch? Like they are new challenges, and we have to understand those challenges so we know how to serve our people, right? I posted that question yesterday and several of you responded. You might have to ask your people, what are your new challenges? What's keeping you up at night? What's scaring you right now? So they have a place to dump it, they feel heard, and then there's a place to talk about it. So you creating that community is a big part in how you serve your clients. But it starts with you understanding what are the new challenges that my clients are facing? What are the new possibilities that they may not yet see? They may not be able to define Pleasure Island. That's the other thing that you have to remember. Is when we used to talk about marketing and enrolling people into whether it's something for free or a home study or coaching packages or a program, we would always talk about make sure they can understand Pleasure Island. In times of high anxiety and fear, they often can't see Pleasure Island. So you have to paint that picture for them. That's one of the biggest things that I want you to take away is it is part of your responsibility to paint that picture for them. That's why I am doing my best to share with each and every one of you to say, coaching is a vital, critical skill necessary right now. It's necessary now, and it's going to be imperative in the weeks and months to come as we come out of this. Coaching is critical. Your business is critical. And for you to abandon it because your anxiety is high, it's my responsibility to help you navigate that to keep your business strong while you keep your health and family strong. And so you have to know how critical your services are. That's the second exercise, is why do you believe your services are critical? If you can't answer that question, it is okay. And there are some types of coaching out there that may not be as critical as others, right? Financial coaching, significant. Any kind of coaching with corporations, huge. Any kind of coaching that has to deal with small businesses, vital, life-saving. Any kind of coaching that has to deal with relationships. Do you know one of the things that happens with crises like this? Suicide rates increase, abuse increase, divorce increase. Life coaching, vital. Relationship coaching, imperative, right? Health and wellness coaching. Everybody's going to the shitter with all the crap food that they thought would be fun to splurge on right now. Health coaching, it's going to go through the roof. It's up to you to make sure they maintain it, and you're going to be needed on the other side of this because everybody I hear is talking about, oh, I'm already gaining the COVID-15 instead of the freshman 15, right? And so you can make a case for why is every type of coaching vital right now. But you have to believe it. If you don't believe your services are the thing that's going to help them, then it will be a luxury that you're trying to offer, not a life-saving skill or a vital resource to help them navigate this. So that's where it all begins. Now, one of the things that I'm going to send you is some copy on how you can put things into context, because the other thing is not just understanding the new challenges, and pressures that your people are facing, and you painting it like, why is it vital? Why do they have to know this? If you're like Tom, there's Tom. Hey, Tom, you work with a lot of nonprofits. Why is your work so vital right now? And when you answer that question, that's Pleasure Island. And so you have to do your job every day through all of this, or on a regular basis through all of this. You have to do a great job of painting that picture over and over again, because the more you can remind them of that, the more they can find their breath and be like, okay, wait a minute. I'm nervous. I feel anxious. But okay, I think I might be able to get through this. Tom's saying some good stuff. Let me listen in some more. Because that's the other thing. People are at home, and there's kind of two camps of people. There's the people that, oh my God, now they have more time than they ever thought because they can't go do all this stuff, right? And so those people are investing in learning. Online learning is going through the roof right now. Online learning is going through the roof right now. People are investing in online learning, online programs, because now they have time. Now the urgency of the crisis is getting them out of the state of ambivalence and requiring them to take different actions, to do things differently. It's like, wow, I'd always wanted to do that. Now I have to do that because my life depends on it, is kind of the situation we're in. But then you have the second kind of camp where it's you don't have any time because you've got 4 kids running around the house, your partner's at home, you're trying to run a business and run a house and be a homeschool. Like all of a sudden you're like, I have no time. Right? So that's a little different situation. And we have to be compassionate for our people and what their reality is. And we have to be compassionate for our reality, right? My reality is very different because my kids are grown and gone. Svieta, your reality is different because you have kids at home and you're homeschooling them. And so it's going to require us to take different actions and to give ourselves permission to manage and navigate our business through all of this. And so while I say now is the time to invest in your business, Svieta, if you used to give, I'm going to make this up, if you used to put 6 hours a day into your business, maybe right now you can only put 2 hours a day into your business, and let that be fine. Get into agreement with that. So the first thing to do is to make sure you understand what are the new challenges that your people are facing, what's keeping them up at night, what's overwhelming them, what has their anxiety running high, and being able to address that and speak into that. And then also knowing the answer, why are my services so critical right now? Because that's the new pleasure island that you have to paint the picture for them because they can't see it through their stress and their anxiety and their fear and their doubts and their uncertainty. But you can. So you have to be the vision holder for them so that they can keep moving through this. Now, a couple of the specific fears. Svieta, you talked about, let's see, let me read this so I get it correctly here. You talked about what keeps you up at night are your financial concerns, like how can I make money in my business? And that, the how do you make money? How you make money is no different. It's still your coaching services, right? Now, you might make some adjustments to what you offer because here's what we know in this world when fears are running rampant, when emotions are high and people are not able to make decisions, like when emotions are really high, people can't make decisions. Right? And in times of crisis like this, we have to get used to being about 65% comfortable in the decisions that we made. We'll never feel confident in our decisions. I want you all to know this. We'll never feel, us, me, you, your clients, your people, will never feel confident in the decisions that we're making. We'll feel about 65% confident. And we have to be okay with that, which is why it's important to bring other people in to help us make decisions, to leverage their perspective so that they can see what I can't see outside of my emotional turmoil right now, right? And so that is so important. And so what keeps you up at night, Svieta, are your financial concerns. And knowing that this is how your people operate. So the corporate women that you're wanting to work with and finding the right job and career, some of them might be working at home. You might have to, one of the pivots you might have to make is forget about, for just a second, put on pause about using your voice in your workplace and doing your work that you loved and being acknowledged. You might have to shift, and the way you might have to be supporting these women is, how in the world do you work from home and manage kids and still get your job done? You might have to find a way to coach into those challenges during this situation. And then as we come out of it, begin to emerge and locate their voice and continue the work that you've been doing. Do you see that pivot and how that works? And so it's just about, when you understand where your clients are coming from and the challenges, you can then begin to see how you can provide services for them differently. So Svieta, you might share an email to everybody in your list, or you might get on your Facebook page and you might be like, hey, corporate ladies, are you like me and you're stuck at home and you're trying to still do your job and take care of the kids and you're about to lose your crap and you don't know which way is straight. And well, I'm here to help. I have a tip. I have one tip I want to share with you today. And so you might just share those little tips. And it might be, Svieta, that it's just something that you figured out yesterday because you're going through this right with them. And that's the beauty of this. You literally just have to be one step ahead. But you're the voice that's speaking up and helping them. Right? And so you begin to pivot what you offer. I know I was working with Kate here on our team, my business partner, and she has a year-long coaching program, but because of how things are right now, people can't make long-term decisions. They don't even know what's going to happen next week. So instead of having a year-long, it's like, you know what? Let's make it a 3-month package. And in that 3-month package, the first month is to help them navigate the craziness of what is. The second month is to really help them focus on emerging. And that last month is how can they be prepared coming out the other side? So you can modify your coaching packages to fit the cycle of what's going on. Now, what Kate is not doing, she's not discounting her price. What she is doing is if her price, her 1-year coaching package is $25,000, her 3-month coaching package is still respectively the same amount, but for 3 months, but it's a lower priced package. It's something that's easier for people to say yes to because it's a shorter commitment. Your people might even need a shorter commitment. It's like, you know what? We're going to do a 4-week program. And over the next 4 weeks, we're going to get on the call once a week and or maybe it's twice a week. And you just have a 1-month program because it breaks it down into smaller pieces. So I want you to be careful. Adjust your packages. Reduce your price, but don't discount your price. That's a very important distinction to make right now in the pivots you're making. You don't have to discount your prices. You might just repackage your services so it's a lower priced offering. Type in yes if you understand that distinction into the Facebook group for those that are on with me. Type in yes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people out there that are making fear-based decisions that are like, I'm giving my services for free because nobody's going to pay. What's driving that is the thought, nobody's going to pay. Or they're saying, you know what, my services are 50% off. And again, what's driving that is because nobody's willing to pay. And that's not true. It's a fear-based decision. But if you can repackage, and like Kate, taking it from a year to 3 months, or maybe you've got a 3 or 6 month package and you're like, you know what, corporate ladies, we're going to do a 1-month package. And we're going to do this once a week, we're going to get together and I'm going to walk you through this. And you charge, maybe you charge $197 for that. Or maybe it's $97, right? And you're like, get on the phone with me. I'm going to give you my time and attention. I'm going to share the research that I know as a corporate woman, as a woman who's been in your shoes. And I'm going to share the wisdom I'm collecting from my mentors, and I'm going to share it with you. And that's how you do it. Okay? But you can't understand how to repackage your services, your offerings, until you can answer what are the new challenges that your people face, right? If I continue to focus on the old challenges, people are going to perceive that as she's heartless. She's not even acknowledging what's going on in the world. There's one of my, I really look up to this gal. She's a colleague of mine. And so far, everything I've seen on Facebook, it's like, does she live on planet Earth? Does she know what we're going through? Because all of her Facebook posts and her messages, it's business as usual. Just the same things that she was posting last month and at the beginning of the year. And I'm like, it cannot be business as usual, right? Svieta says, is giving a month calls for $97 not discounting? It may not be, Svieta. It may not be. And this is where you have to have a fine line of discernment, right? I might normally say it's $197 a month for group coaching and it's 4 calls a month and that's it, right? It's just super simple. And you might say, and you know what? Right now, I'm going to do it for $97. So you can also discount, but the discount, as long as it's coming from a place of service, giving, and strategy, discount. But if it's fear-based decision making, I'm going to implore you to not discount your services, okay? But the first step is to first ask yourself, how can I get creative in the packages I'm offering to support my clients in the new challenges they face so that I can reduce the cost and how much it is to work with me without discounting my services? Answer that question first, get in a place of clarity and strength, and then ask, now, from this place, am I okay if I discount this right now? Okay, there's the distinction. Okay, let's see. The other challenge was from Denise. Denise says, my anxiety is much the same, except I did not have paying clients since I've started my business almost 2 years ago. And now I feel that if I couldn't get the clients before all this, how can it be possible to offer it now while so many people have lost their jobs? Here's the interesting thing. This goes back to Denise. It goes back to that story about the salesperson. One person sees the situation and says, everybody's lost their job. Nobody's paying for anything. Coaching's not going to work. That's one perspective. The other perspective is, oh my gosh, everybody's losing their job. They're in panic mode. They may have never been here before. Holy shit, they probably need my help. What can I do to help them? How can I help them in these times, navigate these times that are so scary for them so that they can minimize their losses and build up their confidence from all the turmoil they're going through? That's the other perspective. That's why it's so important to answer that question. Why do you believe your services are critical? And Denise, if you can't answer that question, then you probably won't be able to build a business right now. And that's okay. That's fine. I don't think that's true. Because what you say in your post, deep down, I know this is what I'm meant to do. It's time to dig deep, girl. It's time to dig deep and find why the work that you do, why is it so critical right now? And Denise, that's actually, I want you to paste that. You don't have to paste it in this Facebook thread, but I want you to really think of that. And I want you to post that in a separate Facebook post in the Easy Breezy group. Melinda, here's why my services are so critical right now. And I want you to give me everything you've got. And then we'll keep diving into this. Because until you can answer that question, your uncertainty is going to run your perspective. And you'll be like that first salesman and be like, oh my gosh, nobody's wearing shoes. We picked the wrong market. But I can tell you, honey, they are people that are losing their jobs, even people that are feeling the financial crunch. They are reprioritizing things. And when we can let them know how we can help them navigate through those situations, we are seen as a necessity, a means to an end, a way out of this, a lifeline. We're not a luxury. That's what we have to be able to do, okay? And then Cheryl asked the question, Svieta just said, when I was in corporate, I changed and found jobs in the worst markets in 2002 and 2008. Yeah. And in 2008 is when I started Coaches Console. Well, 2004, we started Coaches Console. And in 2008, everybody told us that you're not going to be able to build your business. I'm sorry, you're so new, you're probably going to fail. And those were we just continued to increase because people wanted to find help in alternative ways to have control of their future. And starting their own business instead of it just being a hobby was the way they did that. So that's what I preached and that's what we positioned and that's what happened, right? And so times of recession, while it's not great for other industries, there are tons of possibilities and opportunities in this coaching and transformational space industry. Yeah. Yeah, Holly says crisis brings out the need bigger than the ever. And here's the thing is the reason people don't sign up for coaching or really invest in anything is ambivalence. And ambivalence is when something hurts, it hurts enough for them to complain about it and be like, oh, I don't like this. But it doesn't hurt enough for them to actually do something about it. And so most of the people that don't sign up for your coaching packages, they're in that state of ambivalence. Okay, fine, whatever. But here's what's built in with this crisis. Ambivalence went out the back door a few weeks ago. People they are not in ambivalent mode, right? Like Holly said, crisis brings out the need bigger than ever. The urgency, the need, the desperation, everything that people are experiencing is causing them to rethink and take action. Now, this last week of all this upheaval, it was chaos, right? That's starting to settle down and people are like, oh, I'm starting to find my rhythm. And now people are like, okay, what can I do? And they're going to start moving in that direction. You want to be on the forefront of being there for them and with them, right? And so Cheryl talked about my biggest struggle is how to frame my messaging for my offer so it inspires coaches to take action and doesn't offend, and also how to keep clients engaged. I've had several wanting to stop their engagements, and one who is set to start back in April, and my programs aren't gaining traction. I tried to stretch out longer payment plans, and different incentives. And that's the thing, Cheryl. So it goes back to what I said at the very beginning of this training. You have to answer the question for the clients that you're working with. What are their new challenges that's keeping them up at night? How do you need to adjust your services to address those challenges? Because there's some adjustments and some pivoting that has to be made. And when you can answer that, you can make it relevant to those people. And when you can answer the question, why are my services critical in these times? You can paint that pleasure island for those people, and you can help them be engaged because they're borrowing the vision that you're sharing with them that they can't see in the time of turmoil. Okay, so that's going to be an important question for you to answer. So what I'm going to send to you later today is it's going to be a down and dirty document. I'm going to assume that y'all aren't going to care that it's not branded or titled or fun pictures or anything. It's just going to be raw content. And it's going to be these questions and taking you through that exercise. And then I'm going to give you 2.5. I'm still working, so it might end up being almost 3 pages of copy that you can include in your messaging to put your emails and newsletters and offers in context, because you have to put your messaging in context to what's going on right now. You can't just talk about your services. You can't just talk about how you're helping. Like, you have to acknowledge the situation. You have to paint that picture and have compassion, empathy. And so I've given you phrases and statements and sentences and comments that you can use that can help frame up so people are willing to read and listen to what you have to say. So I'm going to be sending that out. Okay. So Kathy says raw content is great. Good, because it's just down and dirty. It's going to be a PDF. You're going to get it, and then you're going to have fun with it. So that's coming your way. And then the other thing that I'm working on is something that I got from one of my masterminds. I thought I would have it done by this morning. I don't quite have it done. But when it comes to serving your people, there are 6 psychological needs that when you can begin, just take some time. You're just going to read through this. But when you can have this understanding about the psychological needs of the people that you serve, the way you speak about things, the way you articulate things, the energy that you bring and put behind the words you speak or behind the words you write, is received very differently. And I want to share those 6 deep psychological needs. Not that we have to get into counseling or therapy or anything like that, but just to help us be aware of how, for ourselves, and self-care for ourselves, and then also just being mindful and compassionate, because having compassion for your people will go a long way. And so I'm going to be including that and sharing that with you later today as well. And then I'm going to be coming here every day this week, and for the unforeseeable future, I'm going to be popping in here and I'm going to be sharing tips. Tomorrow I'm going to share with what I'm specifically doing to navigate all this, so that if it, like my personal meditations, my morning prayers, how I'm moving the energy through my body, how I'm setting up boundaries and good communication here at home, and how I'm shifting and doing things in the business. So I'm going to be sharing all of that with you, so that if you can borrow any of that to help you get through this, you can use it. One of the days this week, I'm going to be talking about several different ways that you can redirect the fear, because we're leaders, but we still feel the fear, right? So I'm going to be bringing that, like, how do you redirect the fear? Another day, I'm going to be coming and talking about not self-regulating, but co-regulating, and what and how important that's going to be for you and your business getting through all of this. So I am, Kathy says same time every day. Yeah, I'm going to try to pop in here. I can't promise that it will be the same time every day, because there's some recurring things that I'm not able to change. But it'll be close to this time every day. But I will be popping in here, and I will be doing Facebook Lives. The lives will live inside the Facebook group. So if you can't join live, you'll be able to listen to them when it is convenient for you. But I am here for you. I am here with you. I get that this is scary, and we'll get through it together. And I'll be sharing what I'm learning and creating and what's working. I'll be sharing that in real time with you so that you can translate that to your business. And we'll get through this together, because we can and we will. And as heavy as it is, it's figure outable, right? It's something that we can figure out and we can put our creativity to, and we can help these people get through these times because that's what we're here to do. It's like the whole universe said, calling all coaches, front and center. Here we go. We're on the front lines, and we are the frontline people. So thank you for your courage. Thank you for doing whatever you have to do to get through your day. Break your day down into small pieces. Don't plan a day at a time. Heck, don't even plan an afternoon at a time. Plan an hour. It's like, what am I going to do for this next hour? Okay, good. Now what am I going to do? Because things are so different. You're learning. You're learning your new rhythms. Have compassion for yourself. Give yourself permission to have the space to be messy. You'll figure it out. You're a smart person, and we'll do it together. I love each and every one of you. I'm here for you. If you have any questions, type them here or start a new post. And Denise, make sure you go answer that question in a new Facebook thread and tag me in it. And I will see you all very soon. You got this, and I've got you, and we've got it together. Mwah. Bye for now.